Know know thyself. It was attributed to Socrates and the Oracle of Delphi. The Oracle's temple had the phrase above the door as a military leader would walk in, and they would consult with the Oracle and ask, am I going to win this great battle? And the Oracle would do its divination and give a saying to the leader. But the phrase that was always said was, know thyself. Know thyself. So what does it mean to know thyself? Well, it means to know your limitations, first and foremost. Know, where do you fall short? Where are your weaknesses? What are your blind spots? In the context of a military leader, there's a lot of haughtiness that comes with winning a battle. And that's to be expected because it's very stressful and the consequences are dire. If you win, you have won your life. If you lose, you have lost your life. Or if you have been badly beaten, right? So knowing yourself is crucial to keeping yourself humble. That's essentially where it boils down to. If you're not humble, you do not recognize what your weaknesses are. You are either too proud of your achievements or too full of yourself to admit or want to see where your weaknesses are. So that's what knowing yourself means. But how do you know yourself? How do you begin to find what exactly is your weaknesses? Well, have you tried things? Have you strived after something? What are the results? Does it feel good? Is there a natural inclination or a natural ability? Do you have instinct to know whether or not, hey, this feels good or this does not feel good? Trying something and getting feedback is the way to know yourself. Have you tried something new recently? Or in the thing that you are striving towards now, have you gotten the feedback of when you were attempting it, when you were striving after it? Have you felt that sense of, hey, there's some natural ability here, or isn't some natural ability? I was never good at sports. I kind of gave my hand at them because, hey, my friends did, and so I went after it. I went after baseball, and I remember being in the Little League all the way to 8 years old, and we had a rec center in town where 8 years and up, that's where the boys would play. And so I went for a tryout, and I didn't really care that much because I wasn't particularly good. I just loved running around and being with friends. Well, when I tried out, it was at night, and you go out into the outfield, and they start doing pop flies out into the outfield, and they want to see if you can catch them. Well, the big problem was I didn't think or care enough to move my eyes out of the big overhead lights that they have at rec centers and stadiums. Well, so the pop fly comes up into the light, and I can't see it, and I'm not naturally a great catcher anyways. Well, it comes and strikes me directly on the forehead and lays me out in front of everyone that was there. So knowing yourself in that situation would have been very, very helpful to save my pride, if you will. So knowing your natural abilities, knowing what you're not good at is important. But also knowing what you are good at is important as well. If you don't know what you're good at, you're never going to strive towards something that is meaningful. You're never going to strive towards something that's worth it. Because if all you see is what's bad, then you never see what's good. If you just see what's bad, you're going to become morbidly introspective and think, oh, how could a human being like me ever crawl out of the womb, right? It's when you know your weaknesses and your strengths, that's when you become powerful. So that is what it means to know yourself. So try your hand at something. Try and at something new. Try at something that's not new and evaluate. Find to see if you have that pleasure of doing the activity, of doing the actual thing, more so than results. Results are important to an extent, but they're not everything, right? Who is good at something the first time? No one. I was, not particularly good at baseball, but I gave my hand at Taekwondo, and I was pretty good at Taekwondo. I wasn't good at the beginning, but I found that pleasure of when I first started. I still remember the first lesson that I had, the first time I went to the Taekwondo gym, because that pleasure stayed with me. There was a natural ability there. There was a natural interest there. So knowing your strengths and weaknesses are important to knowing yourself. And as Calvin wrote in the preface, in the opening line of the Institutes of the Christian Religion, he says that all wisdom is summed up in these two things: the knowledge of God and the knowledge of ourselves. If you like that, then subscribe and share the episode. If you want to see more content like this, then head over to juniusbrutus.substack.com and subscribe for a free ebook in your email. All of this is to help you become a defender of the past and a preserver of the future.